Amherst Island comes alive. You can hear Amherst Island Radio 101.3 FM even before you see the island. Follow the 401 to the exit for Loyalist Township. Loyalist, by the way, was named for United Empire Loyalists who settled in the area after the American Revolution. We arrived Thursday afternoon around 2:20 p.m., just in time to catch the ferry. The Amherst Island Ferry runs hourly 19 times daily, year-round, starting at 6 a.m. You only pay to go to the island. It was $10 for us and our van. Once on Amherst Island, you drive immediately to the village of Stella, the only town on the island. You see the LCBO, Canada Post, and beer store, all called the General Store. It was beautiful but chilly afternoon with some great sunlight breaking through the clouds. We decided to take a short drive west. The island is roughly 15 kilometers by 5 kilometers and wedge-shaped. We drove west past the radio station towards Topsy Farms. It was about a 9-kilometer drive. Along the way, we stopped at the Amherst Island Public School. The Island Public School is K-8 and is experiencing one of its best years with 29 children. Across the street from the school is the incredible dry stone wall, built in 2015. Amherst Island has the largest number of intact dry stone laid walls in North America.
My name is Andrea Cross. In 2015, an Irish-Canadian festival was held on this site, and wallers from Ireland, Scotland, the US, and Canada gathered to build these walls. It culminated on Sunday when the setting sun broke through the clouds through the opening of the Celtic cross. It was a wonderful moment, and people were cheering, people were crying and clapping.
Nature had saved its best till the end of the festival. As we headed west, we passed the historic island home of famous artist Daniel Fowler. Amherst Island is an agriculture-based community with a stable population of about 440 people, which peaks in midsummer around 750. In 2019, a comprehensive island survey was done. The 3 top concerns were roads, the ferry, and broadband internet access. After our West End photo excursion, we headed to Molly Stroyman's lodge. The lodge is the only inn or hotel on the island. Friday morning, after a great breakfast, we set out to see more of the island. One of the island's challenges is having places to gather. Our first stop was the Nielsen Store Museum and Cultural Center. In the summer, it provides a home to a small art business called the Weasel and Easel, as well as providing a meeting space for island groups.
Well, I'm Bruce Burnett. I'm on the board of directors for the museum here. The building originally was built in 1873, and it was a store for most of its life. After that, it was a couple of other things, rental property, various things, and a group of us built this thing into a museum. It's still owned by the township. We rent it from the township for a nominal fee, and they maintain the electrics and the building itself for us. They're happy that we do this, and we're happy that we can do it to try and preserve the heritage of the island.
The building is on township property and shares access to the island's only public transient dockage. Our tour continued past the Anglican Church to the east end of Amherst Island to the Martin Edwards Birding Reserve at the corner of the Lower 40-Foot Road and South Shore Road. This preserve is one of the few parks on the island. About 80% of the roads we saw are unpaved. South Shore Road was badly damaged due to high water conditions over the past few years and is now being repaired. Next, we headed to the beautiful limestone Presbyterian Church. The biggest of the island churches, it has a meeting room that has been doubling as a temporary medical clinic. Having a dedicated health center is a top concern for islanders. Mid-island are the volunteer fire, EMS, and public works facility. There is a life flight landing pad there too. There is no police on the island. When there's a high level of medical or police emergency, the response comes from the mainland. Just across the street from the EMS station is the wind turbine company offices and garage. Wind turbines have been sited on many private locations on the island. The energy is sent off-island. There is a fund that was created that gets a small percentage of the revenues generated by the wind turbines. This Renewable Energy Vibrancy Fund, as it's called, is managed and distributed by the township. We made our way back to Topsy Farms, a large sheep farm on the West End that started as a commune in the 70s. Topsy Farms is a very well-run operation that produces wool and wool products from hand knits to pillows. They provide visitors access to their operations and shearing shed as part of an eco-tourism effort. We got a tour of their wool shop and some insights from Sally Bowen on Topsy Farms' successful lamb and ram operation and Kubota Canada Partnership for Island Victory Gardens.
Tourist outreach leaders in wool and land care and management. Made 20 victory gardens in 30 days around the island. And taking manure, helping build fences, I mean, not just plowing up a little bit of land.
We also learned about a new year-round island-based microgreens business and toured a completely automated dairy farm with 50 milking cows that is run by a husband and wife. We visited the secluded but very successful Ross Land Gallery. Both Ross and Darlene Martin Stewart have successful mainland distribution of their art. They also provide a gallery space for other emerging artists. Their gallery and home are located at one of the oldest farms on the island, built in 1790. Finally, we arrived at Amherst Island Radio, CJAI 101.3 FM. Our host, David Pickering, gave us a tour of the radio station, which is born in a barn. The small 250-watt station recently got approved for a 4,800-watt tower and transmitter, which cost them $200,000 to build. This increase in power means that the non-profit radio station now reaches the entirety of the island, the majority of the mainland township, and even across the lake to the U.S.
So we ran a contest, and we said the farthest distance that you can see us to the north, to the northeast, and to the northwest would each get $101.3.
This all-volunteer nonprofit radio station programs over 40 unique shows and provides live studio music performances and podcast production. Since late 2021, now more listeners, many on the mainland, are playing their charity radio bingo each Thursday, which is improving their bottom line as well as raising money for local charities. At first glance, it seems like Amherst Island has much of what it needs to become food self-sufficient. In the summer, a community group operates a restaurant called The Back Kitchen, which features local produce and emerging chefs. Amherst Island's year-round hourly fare means that commuting to Kingston and even Toronto are possible choices for island residents. Gas, groceries, and hardware are all available in nearby towns on the mainland. We made one final stop before we left, the annual community Christmas tree lighting.
3, 2, 1. Thank you for coming to our...
After 2.5 days, we had met 24 island residents, enjoyed 5 great meals at Molly's, and only just scratched the surface of what makes Amherst Island such a great place to call home. For more information about Amherst Island and the other islands in the Great Lakes, go to GreatLakesIslandsalliance.org.